Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, I welcome everybody. Alhamdulillah, we are live now. And first, I would like to introduce our program. We are the we are the student of the International Open University from Turkey. This is the Turkey Student Committee. And inshallah, today, one of the episodes of our program in the Awareness Week will be a short talk about a very important topic that we should, as Muslims and as humans who know their duties to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should learn about. This seeking knowledge, the virtues and the methods in the light of the Quranic principle. Inshallah, we have Sheikh here, who is an honorable member of the university, the Dean of the Faculty of Islamic Studies, Sheikh Dr. Anwar Sahib. You're welcome, sir. But before you may proceed, Sheikh, I would like to educate the member about your person. I would like to let them know one or two things about you, sir. Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Anwar Sahib Al-Madani, as he's been called, was born in Fiji, where he spent the early part of his life there. At the age of 14, he proceeded to the University of Medina, Islamic University of Medina, to study Arabic language. The same university, he started his undergraduate in the Faculty of Aqidah and Dawah. He graduated in 1989 and later proceeded to study Quran in his master's level. Then, yet in Quranic exegesis at his tafsir in 1999, he got his doctorate. Since then, the Sheikh has been very active in Dawah activities around the world. He has presented Islamic programs on Voice of Islam in New Zealand, where he resides, and various radio channels in the country. Apart from New Zealand, he has been very active in Dawah in Saudi Arabia, USA, Australia, Fiji, Malaysia, India, Qatar, Papua New Guinea, and the Solomon Islands. And of course, at the moment is the Honorable Dean of the Department of Islamic Studies in International Open University. He has also written books in Arabic and English, and some yet to be published. Additionally, he is the founding member and the chairman of a Taqwa Trust in Auckland, New Zealand. His current roles include that of an imam, khatib, and a religious advisor. He's also the secretary of the Ulama Board of New Zealand and the advisor for halal issues to the New Zealand government. You're welcome, Sheikh. Thank you for gracing this occasion. Inshallah, we are going to proceed with the program, and we hope that we're going to benefit a lot from you, to benefit from your wealth of knowledge. Jazakumullah khairan again for coming. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته قال الله تعالى وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين. Perhaps if we understand the meaning of these verses, the rest which comes will be very easily to follow and digest and understand. These verses basically tells us and informs us the very purpose of our wujud, our creation, and that is to worship Allah, Hu Azza wa Jalla. And this is the most important thing, or in fact, the only thing which we should be doing. So all this knowledge, all these activities which we are doing right now is leading us to that important goal, Ibadat Allah Azza wa Jalla. Today, we are going to bi'ithnillahi ta'ala within the specific time allocated, talk about some of the significance of al-ilm al-shar'i. And on top of that, we are also going to discuss bi'idhnillahi ta'ala some of the etiquettes, characteristics of a talibul ilm, or a student of knowledge. A person cannot achieve the purpose of his creation without having knowledge of it, without seeking knowledge. This is something very, very important. And due to that, we see that scholars, al-ulama, they have a special status which is not given to Ammatul Nas, general public. قال الله تعالى شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط. Surah Al-Imran, verse number 18. In this, we see that Allah says that Allah is bearing witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah and His angels and the scholars. You see the scholars, those who are talabatul ilm wal ulama, their status has been so high that they have been combined together in this shahada, in this witness, with Allah Azza wa Jalla and the angels. Shahid Allah, subhanallah. What else you want? Wallahi, if this is the only thing, it was more than enough and is more than enough. So you see, my beloved ones, those who are seeking the knowledge, or they want to seek the knowledge, or those who may be interested, and you can refer this information to them, that you are Shahid Allahu with Allah and the angels. What else you want? So if this is your status or will be, do you think that the shaitan will let you, go have an easy ride? No, Allah. No, I swear by Allah, it's not possible. Shaitan is not going to let it be easy for you. I'm telling you, I promise you that one. Shaitan, sorry, I get excited, Shaitan will make it sure that you live an abundant al-ilm. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, though the fact is, اثنان لا يشبعان طالب العلم وطالب المعلم. Two types of individuals, they are never satisfied or fulfilled. It's never enough for them. Those who seek knowledge and those who run after the money. So let us be from talabatul ilm. So this is your status, barakallahu fikum, which means that there will be lots of hardships, lot of sabr you have to have, lots of ups and downs going to be in your life to achieve. وقال تعالى يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات. In the dunya and akhirah, your status is elevated because of the knowledge. And this elevation comes from Allah, not from people, not because you have a certificate, not anything like that. It is directly from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allahu Akbar. Also among those things, Allah has informed us that those who are scholars and they practice, they are the ones, الَّذِينَ يَخْشَوْنَ اللَّهَ, they are the ones who fear Allah in the best way. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Allahu Akbar. So you can be there. And I pray that you are part of that. And we all want to be there. Na'am. Ayyallah. Also among those things, الإيمان الصحيح لا يكون إلا بالعلم. لذلك قدم العلم على الإيمان. When we want a correct iman, it cannot be achieved without knowledge. And that's why knowledge comes before iman, as you know. وقال الذين أوتوا العلم والإيمان لقد لبثتم في كتاب الله إلى يوم البعث إلى آخر الآية. وقال الذين أوتوا العلم والإيمان, those who have been given al-ilm, the knowledge, and al-iman, the faith. You see, the belief. Also, the only thing which Allah Azza wa Jalla ordered Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam to ask for increase was knowledge. وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Oh Allah, increase my knowledge. Not wealth. Of course, we all need money. Come on, don't deceive yourself. But knowledge is what you need more. As we see that the knowledge has also been mentioned as ruh. Ruh is your soul, your life, right? وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا إِلَى آخِرِ الْآيَةِ. Also, Allah Azza wa Jalla has elevated the status of alim above al-jahil. قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Say those who know are like those who don't? Of course not. شَتَّانَ مَا بَيْنَ الْإِثْنَيْنِ. Massive difference between the two. You can't compare the two. Al-alim wal-jahil. They are in two different categories. Barakallahu fikum. Also amongst the blessings, significance of study is this hadith. مَا اجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ مِّن بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَيَتَدَارَسُونَهُ بَيْنَهُمْ إِلَّا حفتهم الملائكة وغشيتهم الرحمة ونزلت عليهم السكينة وذكرهم الله في من عنده. Subhanallah, when you get them in one of the masajid of Allah, house of Allah, to learn, recite the Quran, study it amongst yourselves, the angels, they come and surround you. The mercy of Allah comes in and engulfs you. The tranquility will come on you. And Allah Azza wa Jalla will mention you and about you to those who are with Him. And they are the angels. Your Lord, your Khalik, your Malik, your Razikh, the one who provides, and He's the only Lord, the only one whom you worship, mentions you, talks about you. أي والله أي والله الحمد لله. Also يقول صلى الله عليه وسلم قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أهل القرآن أهل الله وخاصته. The people of the Quran, meaning those who read Quran, memorize Quran, learn Quran, preach Quran, teach Quran, they are the ones who are the family of Allah and special ones. And I'm sure you all want to be that. Barakallahu fikum. وقد قال صلى الله عليه وسلم خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. The best amongst you are those who learn Quran and teach it to others. وقال أيضا فضل العالم على العابد كفضل القمر على سائر الكواكب وإن العالم لا يستغفر له من في السماوات والأرض حتى الحوت في البحر. Allahu Akbar. The virtue of a alim compared to a righteous mu'min, but without knowledge. The difference between the two is like the difference between a moon and the rest of the stars. Moon is far superior in the brightness, in the way you see, and the way you know the details of compared to all the stars. And indeed, a scholar is one of those for whom the creations of Allah in the heavens and earth, they pray for him, istighfar. Even the whale in the sea, Allahu Akbar. Even the angels, they pray for you. So many other significance. I don't want to be carried away with that, as I said. because there is other aspect of the topic which we need to cover up. Among those things is the etiquette of a talibul ilm. Things which talibul ilm should possess to succeed as a student, as seeking knowledge. So among those adab talibul ilm, or etiquettes which he needs to possess to succeed: as-sabr, patience; ikhlas, sincerity in his seeking of knowledge; practicing what he learns; continuously being fearful of Allah Azza wa Jalla; chasing after the time, meaning benefiting from the time wherever it presents itself; keeping away from the differences of the scholars, especially when you are in the early stage. You need to learn Quran and Sunnah and not to go and see all the differences and try to indulge in it. No. The perfection with which you should seek the knowledge, reading the books as much as possible, choosing the right companion to make your journey possible and thorough, and respect for the scholars which you should possess. So when it comes to adabu talib al-ilm, the first which normally scholars they talk about is sabr. Sabr means patience. I mentioned right in the beginning that this knowledge, you are not going to get it with ease. No, impossible. So the first thing which will come is sabr, because of the hardships which you are going to go through to get it, To be sincere in seeking the knowledge. You want to do it for the sake of Allah. You see that's why this important hadith, which I will mention, is very essential part of our understanding and should always remember it. من طلب العلم ليجاري به العلماء أو ليماري به السفهاء أو يصرف به وجوه الناس إليه أدخله الله النار. Whoever seeks the knowledge to compete and dispute with the scholars, or take pride in it over those who are ignorant, or to attract people towards him, meaning so that people can praise him and glorify him, talk about him, so you get this, celebrity kind of status, you have the fame, you get famous, things like this. Allah Azza wa Jalla will make that person go in the hellfire. أدخله الله النار. رواه النسائي وحسنه الشيخ الألباني رحمه الله. العلم العمل بالعلم. So whatever you see, my brothers and sisters, it's not for the sake of writing and learning so that you can be considered as an alim. No, the first intention is that you are going to practice it wherever it needs to be practiced. Simple as that. قال الله تعالى مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Surah Al-Jum'ah. So if you do not practice what you learn, you will become like Yahud, the Jews, who had the knowledge and they didn't practice it, as being mentioned in this ayah in Surah Al-Jum'ah. They are like donkeys carrying all the books and they don't have any understanding of it. You don't want to be that. Al-Muraqabah, continuously. Always fear Allah Azza wa Jalla. Remember Allah, fear Allah, seek refuge in Allah. Keep your tongue fresh with the remembrance of Allah. وَلَا يَزَالُ لِسَانَكَ رَتَبًا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Always ask Allah to increase your knowledge, your sustenance, your rizq, providing you with a healthy life and living, making you a pious servant of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and make you a practicing scholar of Islam. Ightinam al-awqat. Now this is the most important thing which you come with, which you came with in this dunya, or the only thing almost. That is your lifetime. So this time, each and every second which goes away from your life is never going to come back. So do not delay and say, I will start it tomorrow, or I will study or read and memorize it tomorrow. It has to start now and instantly. We need some space. You see, as-salaf as-salih, the ulama, they used to love traveling for the sake of seeking knowledge, keeping distance from their family up to an extent so that it becomes easier for them to learn. So there is nothing which distracts them from learning, which also means al-uzla, being alone. Wallahi, this ilm, this knowledge, unless you sacrifice a lot, you will not get anything. If you sacrifice a lot, you will get a little bit of knowledge. You just can't combine enjoying the life of this dunya in its absoluteness, and at the same time, you gain the knowledge of Islam. You have to balance and see where your priorities are. Barakallahu fikum. You know, some students, they love to read materials where there are differences amongst the scholars. Not he wants to seek and know the truth, but he wants to have some kind of edge over others. So you can say, you know, Fulan is this, Fulan has said this and that. Leave that alone and go and seek the knowledge to increase your knowledge and to increase your iman and to get more rewards from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Reading lots of books will help you, definitely. We have to focus on that. Choosing the right companion is very essential. One who will help you, encourage you to learn, to read, to write, and to keep you steadfast on the deen of Islam. The respect of the scholar, of the sheikh, is very important. Even if he does something which may upset you, it should not become a reason, a barrier between you and the knowledge which he possesses. This is what the shaitan wants, that you start to hate from where you are getting the knowledge. So when you start to hate this person who is providing you with the knowledge, then you would not feel like to go and listen to him or her. And you will be happy to keep a distance from him. Don't let that happen to you. Barakallahu fikum. And I pray this is enough once as a way of motivation. And inshallah, I will leave it. If there are any questions, clarifications, any fatwas needed, if I'm able to, I will give it to you, inshallah. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. Wa barakallahu fikum.
We really appreciate the discussion. It was beneficial for me, and I hope that it's also beneficial for those listening to us from outside. Do we have any questions? For now, there's no question coming in, but Sheikh, if you permit us, we can wait for 1 or 2 minutes to see if there will be any question.
Okay, no worries, brother.
Yes, sir.
Barakallah feek. So are the students there only from Turkey area or from other places also?
I think people are listening to us on YouTube from different places. However, the people on the Zoom platform are all from Turkey.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Barakallah feekum. May Allah bless you all.
Perhaps I would like to ask a question since there's no question coming from outside.
Yes, please. You can.
Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh. One of the benefits of the International Open University is that we get a platform whereby we can learn the conventional education alongside with the Islamic education, especially using that as the template for learning. What can you how can you educate us about this? Like, how do we manage learning in the conventional settings, the secular education, as we may call it, and learning alongside this, our Islamic education? Like, how do we bring these two together, especially when we have a lot of universities, a lot of school settings today that are basically teaching the secular education but leaving out the Islamic education?
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. Barakallah feek. My beloved ones, everyone who is hearing this and listening and going to promote it also to others, remember, the knowledge of Islam, you need it for your akhirah, for hereafter. The knowledge of this dunya, most of it you need it only for this world, for this dunya. So it is very important for you to know what is good for you. You have to seek some amount of knowledge of this dunya, of course. And for some of us, a lot of knowledge, depending where you are good, in what field you excel. However, the essential part of Islam, like Arkanul Islam, Arkanul Iman, how to pray, how to make wudu, what to do in a business if you are running a business, all these things you need to learn. Basics of it only, not details, because you need to be a practicing Muslim. And you cannot be without learning. So if you go and see the importance of Islamic knowledge, the virtues of learning Islamic knowledge, the need for it and the requirement of it, without that you may fail to go to Jannah. This is inshallah going to increase your capacity to learn, your intensity, your raghbah, your desire. And at the same time, pray to Allah, ask Allah, Ya Allah, Rabbi Zidni ilma. Oh Allah, give me courage to learn. Oh Allah, I want to learn. Help me out. If you make the dua, and Allah will answer it, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum.
Sheikh, there's a question here. The questioner is saying that making use of the evidence in the Quran, how can we do this? Or is there a recommended text for such? How can we make use of the evidence, the Quran as an evidence? I think that's what the person is asking.
The question is very broad, but anyway, I will explain it, inshallah. Quran and Sunnah is from where we get the evidence for whatever we need, the fatwa for the answer to, right? So first of all, we need to understand the meaning of the ayah so that you can use it as an evidence. Sometimes, you may understand the meaning, but it may not be applicable to your situation or where you want it to be done. So when where you want it to apply it, I mean. Now, to use an evidence, hopefully this is what the question is, from the Quran, you need to know the meaning of the Quran. You need to know whether the ayah is valid or mansukh, meaning it has been abrogated or not, and when it was revealed. At times you need to know on whom does it apply. At times you may need to know. You may need to go and see the tafsir, the explanation from al-mufassirun. You may need to go to the scholars of fiqh to understand if it is a fiqh issue in that ayah, what they have said and how they understood. Only after that you may be able to apply. And if you still have got some doubts, you have to go to a scholar to say, look, this is an ayah, and I want to apply it on this particular case. Do you think I'm correct or not? Barakallahu fikum. Jazakumullah khairan.
I mean, Sheikh, there's another question here. The questioner said, I have a question, Ya Sheikh. What is the ruling on a student of knowledge who answers questions raised by the masses when he has very little knowledge, but happens to be the best in the environment?
Can you repeat the question, please?
It's saying that what is the ruling of a student of knowledge who answers questions of the masses, whereas he has very little knowledge, but he is the best in the environment?
First of all, there are questions which can be very basic and simple with simple answers. So if this person possesses that much of knowledge, he can answer. But if it is something which has got twists and is tricky and difficult, and he is not to that level to answer it, and he is in doubt of it, or whatever, he should not and should refrain from answering it. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. Whoever lies on me intentionally, for him is an abode in the hellfire. So many people, they take this lightly on قال الله وقال رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, and it's not there, or they misunderstood it, or they just fabricated it. And this is very, very dangerous, because Rasulullah said, alayhi salatu wasalam, they are making for themselves, preparing for themselves a place in the hellfire. We should not do that. So if you have doubts, refrain. There is nothing wrong in saying, I don't know. This should be the first answer. Wa barakallahu fikum.
There's another question here. The questioner said, if a person living in a rural area does not have access to the means of acquiring in-depth knowledge, what is the minimum knowledge that he should learn to be successful?
MashaAllah, good question. First of all, Arkanul Islam and Arkanul Iman, right? The pillars of Islam and the pillars of faith, I'm pretty sure we all know, so I would not repeat in details. From these things, we need the basics. First of all, we have to pray 5 times a day. So you need to know how to pray. To pray, we need purification. So you need to know how to do wudu and how to do ghusl. You need to know what kind of clothing are a requirement for you to pray. The time of the prayers, you need to know. How many units, rak'at, you have to pray. You need to know. In the month of Ramadan, you are going to fast. So you need to know some basic rules of fasting. When you go for Hajj, you need to know basics of performance of Hajj, how to do it, in simple form. Zakah, if you have got enough in savings, you need to know how much of zakah is to be given. Also, if you are running a business, now you will need to know Islamic information of how to run a business, what is haram and what is halal, whether it will be interest or not, and so forth, because you are doing a business. So you need to know that. If you are a farmer, you may need to know some information about farming in Islam, so that you are doing the right thing and not doing anything which is haram. If you have got animals, you are an animal farmer, sheep, camels, and stuffs, you need to know about that, how Islam teaches you to deal with this kind of situation with the animals and so forth. So these are the kind of things you will. It depends. Certain amount, all of us have to know. Then depends on what your life is about. Then from there on, you will need to know. Then there are things which are far more in details. For this, you will need to consult ulama whenever there is a need for it.
And we have another question here. The questioner said, sometimes we learn certain things which we find difficult to relate to Allah, like learning further mathematics. Should we continue studying it or leave it since we can't relate it to Allah?
Ilman. There are 2 types of knowledge. One is related to Islam. The other one is related to this dunya. So from this dunya knowledge, you have to take whatever you need for your career, for your future, for having wages, whenever you are going to work on your career. And mathematics is part of it. So But if you don't want to learn, it's entirely up to you. You don't need to learn. You don't have to. You may need it, but you don't have to learn it. But it's okay. You can learn. There is nothing wrong with that. Barakallahu fikum.
Wafikum barakallah, jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh. We really appreciate the lecture and the answers to the question. They are beneficial, and I hope the questionnaires also find them very beneficial. And inshallah, those people that will be learning from the videos that are recorded, we also find it beneficial. Jazakumullah khairan. We'll be going to the next part of the program. Sheikh, inshallah, since you are from reaching us from New Zealand, we understand that it's night over there. Jazakumullah khairan. We can release you now. We thank you so much. We also, inshallah, and next time we also find, inshallah, we expect that we find your knowledge beneficial in our subsequent programs, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan.
Jazakallah khairan for inviting me. Barakallah fikum. Anytime you people need me, I'm here for all of you brothers and sisters. Wa barakallah fikum from my side. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters listening to us from home, our program continues with the second section, which will be an introduction of the International Open University. To do this, inshallah, I'm going to invite the chairman of the Turkey Student Committee, Brother Ilyas Muhammad, who is a master's student in the Department of Islamic Banking in the International Open University. Inshallah, will be discussing. He's also the chairman of, he's the chairman, like I said, and there's a very resourceful brother. Inshallah, our brother Ilyas is here to do the presentation. He will tell us about the university, and inshallah, if you have any question about the university, you can always write us and reach us. Inshallah, we can direct you to the links about basic informations or in-depth information, as the case may be, about the university. Thank you.
MashaAllah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Now, before I begin, I think we have a few minutes to end the program. So, inshallah, I'm going to be a little bit snappy. Possibly, we've actually had some time speaking to some of the Turkey students. So, I wouldn't actually talk much about IOU, especially unimportant stuffs. We're just going to touch on the important stuffs about IOU and why IOU is actually the preferred university for students of knowledge. We have just listened to our lecturer, our ustaz, our sheikh on the etiquettes and the importance of seeking knowledge. And now it is about time we began seeking that knowledge. And IOU is actually one of the preferred universities where you can actually obtain authentic knowledge. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم أجر الحق على لساني وثبتنا عليه ووفقني لما تحبه وترضاه من القول والنية والعمل والهدى إنك على كل شيء قدير. Okay, well noted, inshallah. Let me maximize the presentation. Okay, it's just, sorry, I'm coming in. Is this okay, brother? Okay, so IOU, actually, the history, a brief history of IOU, it was formed in 2007, and I think it was formed with 1,500 students registered for all these diploma programs. And in 2010, IOU actually started launching its Bachelor of Arts program. And the first program it actually launched was the Islamic Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies. In 2014, several other programs were launched by IOU, programs such as Arabic Education, Islamic Banking and Finance, Psychology, were all launched by the International Open University. And then in 2015, 2 additional departments were opened, and that was Business Administration and Information Technology. And then a Master's in Islamic Finance was also opened. In 2017, IOU began offering some of its programs in the Bahasa, that is one of the languages in Indonesia. Okay, so just all the way to 2021, IOU got its accreditation from this body, and by then IOU had over 600,000 registered students from 229 countries. Okay, who is then the founder of IOU? As we all are aware, our founder is Dr. Bilal Amin Phillips. He is a Jamaican and a Canadian Islamic scholar as well. He has written so many books in Islamic studies, theology, and several other disciplines. And here is a picture of our founder. Okay, coming to the mission of IOU, IOU is there for you with all its authentic courses, easily accessible and affordable, because we have affordable fees. The fees are virtually affordable. And the few slides to come, I would actually show the fee structure of IOU to all and sundry. And the community of IOU is actually large, based on Islamic ethics and the quality and application of its programs. These are the scholars, or let me put it this way, some of the scholars of IOU, or we could say the stakeholders of IOU. You can see their pictures and their names as well. Okay, now let's talk about the departments of IOU, the departments and programs. First of all, we have the Department of Islamic Studies, Department of Education, Department of Islamic Economics and Banking and Finance, Psychology, Business Administration, Information Technology. We also have Arabic Language and Linguistics. We also have the Quran Memorization Center, and then the General Diploma in Islamic Studies. Okay, so in the Department of Islamic Studies, before you get enrolled into the program, you should actually, I think here the program actually lasts for 4 years. The duration of the program is 4 years. And then the core courses, in Sharia plus Dawah supplement, the core courses, we have core subjects and we also have additional courses in the same department. Courses ranging from education, psychology, finance, management are all part of the Bachelor of Islamic Studies program. We also have the Higher Diploma in Islamic Studies, or you can call it the Bridge to Masters. This is just a 1-year program. And if you need a master's and your discipline or your field of study isn't directly from Islamic studies, then you would need the BMAIS, just 1 year, to be able to get yourself enrolled into the master's program. Okay, so we also have the degree requirements for the master's studies. In discipline, any discipline at all, you can enroll into the master's, but make sure you add that field of study plus the the Bridge to Master's program, the 1-year program we just spoke about. If you can add this to any discipline at all, then you are eligible to enroll for the master's program. Okay, these are just some of the courses of the master's program. Now we also have Department of Education. And under this department, we have bachelor's degree for 4 years, associate degree for 2 years, certificate degree for 1 year. Department of Islamic Economics, Banking and Finance, we have the same structure, degree for 4 years, associate degree for 2 years, certificate for 1 year. And the program contents can be found on the website, and that is the IOU, the International Open University's official website. But if you care to know, these are just some of the programs under this department. Okay, let's talk about Department of Psychology. Psychology also has 4-year program degree. It also has the 2-year associate degree program and just 1-year certificate program. The contents of all courses can also be found on the IOU website. Department of Islamic Information Technology, same structure, 4-year degree, 2-year certificate degree, 2-year associate degree, and 1-year certificate in IT. Trust me, for this program, if you are desiring to actually specialize in IT field, trust me, this is an intensive field for you. This IOU IT department have various courses that all students that I have actually had some conversation with really attest to the fact that the program is intensive, and if you are really serious, you would get to benefit a lot, not just only the conventional courses, but by the time you finish your degree program, you might have obtained lots of basic Islamic courses. We also have the business administration department, same as the others. Let's quickly move on. We have the Arabic linguistics, Department of Arabic language and linguistics, same as the others. Okay. We also have the higher diploma in Arabic, just like the higher diploma in Islamic studies. If you wanna study the master's program and your field of study isn't Arabic, then you would need the higher diploma in Arabic studies to be able to enroll. And this is just for 1 year, and irrespective of the discipline you're coming from, just get yourself enrolled, pass all the courses, and then get yourself enrolled for the master's program. These are some of the courses of this program. Okay, now we'll at IOU, you can be a student for part-time basis, and you can also be a student for full-time basis. For part-time, in order to be able to graduate, you need about 25 to 40 courses, or let's say credit hours per semester. And the duration is 6 to 9 years. Part-time, you can just register 3 to 4 courses or 1 to 3 courses in a semester. And for full-time, you would need almost 40 to 60 credit hours per semester. And the duration of study is 4 to 6 years. Okay, just like I said, 1 to 3 courses per semester. If you are a part-time student, 4, 5, or 6 courses per semester. And if it is accelerated, you just need you would need 7 to 9 courses per semester. And accelerated program is just like if you want to graduate earlier than the 4 years, then you can take almost 9 courses per semester. Now, this is the fee structure at IOU, and this is the general fee structure. We have, depending on the country you're coming from, the fee is accordingly to the countries. So in the case of Turkey, this is the fee structure for IOU programs. And the graduate programs, if you are in for full-time, then you would pay $265. If you are in for part-time, $165. And the graduate accelerated, you pay $350. Same for masters, $550, $350, $740. Bridge to masters, $365, $230, $240. And then the last one, which is just $240 and then $155. Okay, many students might be asking of accreditation, and yes, IOU is an accredited university, and its main campus, the mother branch, is in Gambia, and which started operation in May 2014. It got its accreditation from this body, the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, and that was April 2019. So you wouldn't have any problem studying with us at IOU. At IOU, we have the Global Quran Memorization Center. We also have the General Diploma in Islamic Studies. You only need around $12 to get yourself enrolled into this program. This is actually one of the beneficial programs at IOU. Just $12, and you can start your learning journey at IOU. And the Quranic Memorization Center, you would actually need to pay, I think, based on semesterly, or should I say monthly, for you to continue. We have one-on-one with the ustaz. If you want to memorize the Quran and you need just one ustaz for yourself, the fee is different. If you want a group of students, then the fee structure too is different. With that said and done, this is the IOU email, and this is our phone number, and you can always contact IOU committee through this email and the number. Or if you want, this is the main address of IOU in the Gambia. You can contact them. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask either now or possibly, I think we don't really have much time. So if you have any question, you can email us or you can text us through any social media platform. We have our Facebook platform as well, or you can also email the IOU main branch in the Gambia. So just like our lecturer, our ustaz, our father, he lectured us about the importance of seeking knowledge. It's about time we actually began this journey. You know, we are living in an era where truth is actually soiled, begrimed with falsehood, right with wrong. Seeking authentic knowledge is not an option. It's just a responsibility on us. Imagine you getting all the degrees, all credentials, and dying without knowing your Quran, dying without even knowing Allah. How do you worship Allah? And how do you turn to Allah? So I encourage all brothers and sisters to put this in your minds. Make sure as you tread along the conventional, educational sector, remember you also have a duty on yourself to acquire the Islamic knowledge. Barakallahu feekum. وجزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا, Brother Ilyas. That was a very beautiful presentation, and I hope that those people watching us from home were able to learn a lot of things about IOU. So as we end the program, we also employ us to try to visit the websites of the university at www.iou.edu.gm. Inshallah, from there you can get a lot of information about the programs, and hopefully, inshallah, the next semester we will all be together at the International Open University, IOU. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.